Hey, yeah, this is Mahesh Kosuri. Here we are going to discuss of ANAPLAN. In my previous video, we have discussed of list items, right? In the introduction, I have shown you list items and how do we maintain the master data for the list items. One I have demonstrated like how do we upload that data, I mean master data into this general list using the Excel file, because this is the trial version I am using, talent builder program I am using. So I can only show you by using the Excel template upload only. So far we have maintained the master data in this general list items. If you open this list, you can say I have maintained some of the values here. In the same way, if you go to the data source, here also I maintain the values manually. I have maintained here. And if you go for the brand variants, here this one we have maintained using the Excel file. Okay. And of course we have done some of the configurations for uh, each list item, right? Here I have maintained the parent hierarchy, category, products I have maintained, selective access also enabled here. That's what I have done for the configuration, in the configuration of this brand variants. Here you can see one subset we have maintained already, and I have maintained any properties. No properties for this one. So this is what the grid view we can see our data. This is all I have explained in my previous video. How your list item will be displayed and how your write and read enabled here, and the code you can see. This is the default property of the list item. And of course the parent is also the default property. Honda, this is the sublist we have maintained. That's why it is showing. And Honda related items I have selected as the sublist here. Okay. Now, now we understood like how do we maintain the master data in the ANAPLAN system, right? Using the general list we can maintain, and of course you can integrate your using the cloud connector, or there are some web methods. Recently I heard of the web methods. That is all like APIs only. Finally, whatever you call the tool will interact with the tool will use the RESTful APIs. That RESTful API will talk to the other third party system, so that they can fetch the data from that system to the here. And in the target, if you specify your target table, that will be loaded automatically. Automatical in the sense we can schedule the jobs. Okay, for that generally we use the actions. Here you can see actions, right? If you go here actions, here you can see this is what we have done previously, right? In the imports you can see what we have imported, the file, this file we have imported, right? And import into brand variants, it is showing start date and most recent duration, how many seconds, milliseconds it has taken. So this is what you can see, and you can run this import process once again. If you want to run, you can run it. Upload file is no longer available, so we need to upload the flat file again for this one. So, but rather than using the flat file, if you integrate any connectors, as I said, like any APIs, if you integrate a third party system, say suppose even the talent you can use, okay, any ETL tools you can use to connect this Anaplan system to the third party systems, so that you can run your job here. And uh, yeah, you can run your job and you can import the masters and transactions. So this is how we build our general leads and the respective jobs here. Of course, you can schedule the jobs also in the cloud connector itself, you can schedule the jobs. Okay, that is one thing. Now our question is, how do we maintain the transaction data? That is the second one, right? First, we discuss of, always we think of the master data in any planning systems or any data warehouse systems. How do we design the master data objects? As I said, like in ANAPLAN, first time I am hearing the name, like actually generally in any planning system. Generally, the users they call it as the dimensions. Any planning objects they call it as the dimensions. But first time I'm hearing of this name like general lists. So these lists, as I said, like just we to maintain the masters, these lists and sublists we use. Now the question is, how do we maintain the transaction data? Before maintaining the transaction just data, just let us recollect what I have done so far in the versions. So here I have already maintained the version. Okay, actuals there is there nothing I have specified. Start of time scale and end of time scale. Whatever the time range here I have specified. Current fiscal year, number of past years I have paid specified one. Number of future years, two I have specified. It means 2023 to 2026, right? Current period October 24, that's fine. So 2023 to 2026, three years I want to maintain in this time scale. So if you apply this three years in this time scale and apply these 3 years to the times your model, that is by default applied to your actual version. That's what here I said. Edit from start of timescale, end of timescale. You will understand what is edit from and edit to. Actually, actual version should not be edited, right? Actual version should not be edited. By default, the system is taken start of timescale and end of timescale. Later, we see how do we maintain this one. No, I will maintain the start of timescale for now. Okay. Once you put the none, then you cannot edit it. That's what it is telling. And planning I have maintained. Edit from, edit to I have maintained, and switch over Jan 2020, Jan 25 I have maintained. And the forecast October 24 I have maintained, and the edit from and edit to I have maintained this time range. Okay. So now let us go and check how do we maintain the transaction data. This is very interesting system actually. Here you see modules, models and modules both are different. In the model, we maintain the required general list, time and version and modules and subsets and users and everything we maintain in the model level. But modules are something different. Modules are functional area specific. Functional area is some is just like one folder. Whatever the required modules for that particular functional area, all those modules we keep in that functional area. Say suppose if I go to this functional area, if I write something here like mm, finance planning, suppose if I maintain here, if I write the functional area, finance planning, here the category it is asking what category it is. So there are some standard categories. Okay, I'm taking it as the finance for now. Okay. Okay, now here you can see modules and line items. This is very interesting concept, line items. If you go to this line items, here open, export, refresh, everything is here. Is there any line items? It is not working. Open. Why? Because there are no line items. We have not yet defined any line items. Let us go to this modules. What is this module now? We can see. So module is nothing but it's a kind of uh, model actually, kind of model. It is sub model we can say, or we can say simply the sub model. That's why you are calling it as a module. In this module, if you go to the insert module here, once you click the insert module, new module, it is asking. Here you see columns by default, the system has selected the time, and rows, you can see one interesting thing here, line items. Line items. If you go here, it is allowing you to edit these rows, right? So enter the line item names here. Line items are nothing but here measures actually. Whatever the measures you want to write, you can write the measure here. So for every module, you can maintain the required line items into it. And of course, you can see here fx is nothing but function or formula, right? You can write a formula to this line item. That's what it is telling. And it is editable, it is telling. Enter the line items. It is editable. What are the line items you require? What are the measures you are planning, you are thinking to plan? Those measures here you can maintain. It is just like simple Excel sheet you can assume, right? In the Excel also you maintain the rows, you maintain the columns, and you can maintain the selection filter also. Select box you can design in your Excel. For that select box you can filter your rows and columns, right? So here this is interesting feature in the ANAPLAN actually. The line items are here. Suppose I maintain like unit selling price I will maintain. Unit selling price I will maintain. Okay, unit selling price I'm maintaining here. Only one line item I'm maintaining here. Just for understanding only, I'm taking this example. I will enhance these modules and I will maintain number of modules in this in the upcoming videos. So here I'm maintaining unit selling price, and of course let me add one more also, unit cost price also I will maintain, and gross margin also I maintain. That's fine. That's, I think if you follow my SAP Analytics Cloud videos, mostly I'm using the same kind of scenarios in this video also. So, but here in this module, I'm using the three line items in single module. So, unit selling price, unit cost price, and gross margin. So, if you know the unit selling price and unit cost price, then you can find the gross margin. I will put in one more. I will gross margin in percentage, and gross margin in value. Gross margin in value also I can calculate, right? Here time is here. And if you want to maintain the time in the columns, you can maintain, or you can move to the page. Line item you can move to the columns. Line item you can move to the page. Wherever you want to move, you can place your line item and time any general list. These are all the list general lists only, right? Even the line item also, in fact, it is the general list only. But here we are calling it as the line items because we are maintaining some measures here. So time I maintain in the page, better I will maintain in the columns. And what I'm going to do here, line items I will maintain in the pages. Once if it comes to the rows, you see, you can see your line items here. Once I move to the page, it means your line items are, this is nothing but select box in your report. You can select your line items. You cannot display all the line items in the page level, page axis level. That's why it is just showing as a folder only. But our all line items are stored in this folder. So columns I have maintained time, and now I will select the lists and rollups. Lists and rollups. Rollups are like hierarchies, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm selecting brand variant first in the row, and sub region I will select, and Version I will select in the column. Time I will select here. Version and time. Let us select the data source also. Can we select the data source here? No. I will select in the page. Okay. And organization still is here. Organization I have selected. Users actually not required to select in the users. Even you cannot select here. This is the limitation actually of the general list. It means you can select only the three nested dimensions. Even though it is a general list, generally we call it as the dimensions only. Okay, general lists are nothing but dimensions. Here name is general list, but users generally call it as the dimensions only. So three dimensions only we can select either in the rows or in the columns. This is we call it as the nested dimensions. This is the outer dimension we call, and organization we call it as the inner dimension. What I'm going to do, I guess organization I have not maintained any data. Let me run this one first. Okay. Here I give the module name. Module name is grass margin planning. Let us put grass margin planning. I'm writing it as the grass margin planning. That's cool. Okay. So grass margin planning, I'm maintaining as the new model name. Now let us say, okay. Oh, this is what our module looks like. It is just simply an Excel sheet, right? It is simply, it shows like an Excel sheet. Oh, total company I have maintained already Asia, Europe, North America, like that I maintained. Hmm. Okay, it looks like I have maintained what is this dimension? Yeah, I have maintained some data here. So total company is the parent node. That's why it is showing it as a parent. Okay, here you see page axis. I have maintained the uh, line items, right? So all the line items here I am showing. Here you can select whatever the line item you want to see here. You can select that line item here. And data source is here you can see user adjustment, input, calci, copy to finance model. Okay, here actually we need to select one more data source. Okay, for now I'm maintaining the input only here because I want to input some data in this template in this module. You can see here how my dimensions, nested dimensions has been generated cardinality here. Actually, this is the outer dimension, right? That's what I said, right? This is the outer dimension. This is the inner dimension. This is the middle one. So for this variant, for the four regions, and for each continent has been divided into four regions. So for every north region, it is showing Asia, Europe, and North America. Three cells it is showing, and actuals started from 2023 onwards. I said already, right? Our time scale is 6 years. Sorry, 3 years. Our time scale is six. Sorry, again, 3 years. It means 2023 to 2026. 2026 actual H2 all periods FY 2026 ended by FY 2026 and all periods. Whatever the sum you want to show, here it will show the sum. Now planning also started from the Jan 2023. Planning also started from Jan 2023 and ending at ending at FY 2026. And go to the forecast also you are showing the data from February 20 sorry Jan 2023 to, and you can see FY 2026. This is interesting, right? So your model time scale, you whatever the time scale here you maintain, that time scale is applying to your model for all the versions. If you go to this module again, let me, I guess I need to go to the other session. I'm not sure. Okay. Here I'm opening the versions again. Okay. Here you see the version, start of time scale, end of time scale. Actual is edit. This is right. So this applies to the rest of the versions also. Whatever you maintain, it means not sorry, not this one. Actual the model time scale, whatever the time scale you maintain in the time list, the scale is applying to this all these three versions. Okay, so here, in fact, actual should not be overwritten, right? Actual should not be overwritten. I mean, even it should not be allowed to input. But here we maintain edit from and edit to for the actual. Edit start of time scale and end of time scale. Right? If you go to this module, you see your entire up to 2026 actual up to 2026, you can see values with blue, right? These values are with blue. And if you cross this, if you go to the planning, you can see the black values. Of course, for the sum of the values, you can, for some of the quarters or for some of the time periods, you can see the blue, so they are editable. It means here, here you can see these values are editable because I customized my actual version in this version list. Like I configured like edit from and edit to. Here what I said, start of time scale and end of time scale. Whatever the time scale I have specified for this model, that one here I made. So what I'm doing, no, you should not overwrite your actuals. So let us make it as a none. Now go to this. Now you see the change. Actual. No longer you can input. No longer you can input these values. Okay, that is fine. The second one is here. Let us go to the planning. Okay. Planning, you have seen here values starting from the Jan 2025. So you can edit from Jan 2025 onwards up to up to planning December 2025. You can edit, and Jan 26 also there. Up to what period? December 26. Up to December 26 you can edit. From what period? Jan 2025 it started. Okay, Jan 2025 it started, and you can edit up to December 2026. Let us go and check this version. Here you see planning switchover. I started from the Jan 2025, right? And edit from Jan 2025, edit to 20, December 26 I have given. This is the better example actually. Forecast switchover I maintained at October 24, right? But edit from and edit to I have maintained Jan 25 to June 25 only. So based on this configuration for the each version, your module will be enabled to input or display or read only. So if you go to the forecast version, you said October 2024 onwards, the switchover starts from October 24 onwards, right? That's what I said. Sorry, yeah, version. Yeah, switchover starting from October 24 onwards, but your edit starts from Jan 25. Actual planning, forecast. Yeah. Here you see Jan 25 onwards, your edit starts. What is the switchover? I will tell you later what is switchover. Because switchover in the sense rolling forecast. Mostly we use the switchover in the rolling forecast, right? So once this period closes, the next period should be open, right? October till October 2024, my actuals will be available. After October 24, the planning will be rolled to the next forecast period, that is the November 2024. So switchover starts from October 24 onwards, in the sense till October 24 you will get uh, all your actuals. From October 24 onwards you will get the plan values. But here this configuration what I have done here, I am allowing the users to enter up to this range only. Okay, even though you enter, you can get the plan values from October 24 onwards. But I am making this configuration by selecting edit from and edit to the based on these params. That's what the modules, beautiness of the module. So here, what you can do, actuals I don't want to write, right? That's why I made them as a read only mode here. Let us go and enter some data in this planning. My planning starts from Jan 2025 onwards, right? So what I am doing here, I will enter some data. Can I enter some data? Yes, of course. Here I can enter data. But users do not enter data in this module. That's what we need to keep in mind here, right? Because I'm just creating a module. This will be attached to the page actually, so that users they can enter the data in the page, either the dashboard or page, whatever you call this module. Here what I'm entering, just this is only for the testing. As a developer, as an ANAPLAN developer, we need to test, right? That's why here I'm entering some data to understand whether my cells are enabled to input the data by the users or the authorized users, whatever you say. Here 30 I maintain, and 30, this is the forecast figures. So I just copy these values to the all the, because I want to show some good amount of data. 8 cells will not be updated, 8 read only. Okay, that's fine. Because this is the parent node, right? So you cannot update the data for this total company parent. So that's what I have done. Of course, there is some more data I need to update. Let me copy these values so that we can show some good amount of data here. That's fine, baby. Still there are values. It's just like Excel, right? Still. Okay. Okay, Jan 2025 I have maintained the input data here. So it is allowing, it is, there is no save or something like that. There is no save or publishing or something like that. Okay. And here you can see one good option actually. I have copied, literally manually I have copied these values, right? Till the last one I have manually copied the data. Here one option available here. Suppose if I maintain February 2025, say suppose 40 I maintain. Here you can see one option. Copy the current value down to the same column. Once you click on it, what happened? Yeah. So values copied to your up to down, you can copy your values. In the same way, you can copy your value to the horizontal also. Copy the current value across the same row. If you click on it, you can copy your values up to December 26. You are able to copy to the in that version only. right? It applies to version only. Forecast also it copied. Planning and forecast it copied. So entire rows has been copied. Planning we have copied, and of course forecast also we have copied values. Okay, so this is how we maintain the data. Let me maintain data entirely. So I maintain data. Cell count requested 10,830 exceeds mini maximum. Oh, okay. This is still okay. This is one limitation in the ANA plan actually. Okay, this is one limitation. We can. This is fine. This is the problem with cloud systems actually. There are lot of limitations when it comes to copying the data, loading the data, and reading the data. So here, this one I copying the manual. Of course, later I use some functions how to copy the data from one version to the another version. Those kind of things later I will tell you. Okay, up to now I have applied this principle because I want to show you some good amount of data. Okay, so this is what I have done so far in this module. You see the module now, right? So actually, you unplan what they say. This module actually they classify like input modules, calculation modules, and report modules. Like that, they classify. If you go for the certification, ANAPLAN certification, or either L1 or L2 certifications, they classify these modules like input modules and calculation modules and report modules. In fact, there is no option here in fact to show this module as the, I mean, to make this module as the read only, or for the report module there is no setting, or input module there is no setting. Just for understanding purpose only, we classify these modules into the input, calculation, and report modules. This is input module actually, right? We can call it as the input because I have selected the input data source here so that you can maintain this one. Okay, and this module actually currently we are in uh, grid view. This is the blueprint of the module actually. This is, we call it as the blueprint of the module. Okay, here you see unit selling price, unit cost price, and all the line items you can see, and their format you can see number and summary none. So far none we have system has selected this one, and you can see the time scale, month we are using, and time range, model calendar, that's already we discussed, and versions it applies to all the versions, and cell count. This is interesting thing actually. Cell count is nothing but based on your selection how many cardinality, what is the cardinality of these selections of the masters and transaction data, uh, cell values. If you open your this one, so for the unit selling price, how many cells the system has generated here. So these many combinations are here, right? 1 into 4 into 4, 16. And how many periods are there actually here? Almost 36, 3 years, right? 36 plus there are quarters and half years and total year, right? Final year also. So for every so if you count all these values, you can get these many cell count. This many cell count you will get for every line item. Unit selling price we have calculated the same way but the other line items also, these many cells the system will generate. That's what the cell count. So the cell count is very very important for us actually. We try to maintain the cell count, less cell count, so that, and of course we need to maintain the data. If you maintain the data, that's fine. If any blanks are there, then that will cause the performance issue actually. So always we try to keep less number of cell count, so that less number of cell count with the values. If any blank records are there, better to look into the module design, and if any unwanted blank columns or blank rows are there, uh, we better to try to avoid those blanks from the module, so that we can increase the performance of this module. And you can see this number format for the every line item, right? Here you can see number. If you go here formatting, then you can see type. This is all formatting of this. This is one interesting thing. List is one interesting thing, and the test is also one interesting thing, right? So we discuss of the list and test in the coming sessions. So far I said the line items are the measures. Are they really measures? Are they something else? That's what we will discuss in the coming sessions. Okay. Now you can see how you display your values, line item values. If it is a number, then what? If it is a list, you need to select the list, right? It means even you can maintain your line item as the list item also, right? So we discuss what is the importance of the list by specifying one line item as the list. That's why they didn't name it as the measure. Line item can be the list, or it can be the number or boolean or date, whatever it is. Okay, that's why they didn't name it as a measure. We can maintain the list also as the line item. And the list here you can see type, of course, selective or dependent, allow access to one field. This is all fine for us. Now let us see other formats here. Decimal places you can maintain here, and if you want to maintain any currency for this line item, you can maintain the currency also. If you want to maintain the symbol, you can maintain and select the currency, required currency. Or if you want to maintain the percent, this is all formatting of the your line item. And formula, this is one interesting thing actually. This is the interesting and most important thing. This is what formulas. So your line item, as I said, like in the module itself, it is showing the function, some function, right? If you go for this, here you see fx. It means it is nothing but you can write a formula in this line item. That's what it is telling, right? So here, if you go for the blueprint here in this formula section, if you click on it, you can write the required formulas. In the coming session I will tell you how to write the formula here. This is just simple. This is as simple as like excel formula. There are some standard formula keywords, formula syntax words. Those words we use here so that we can refer one module to the another, and of course you can do some other things also using this formula editor. And here summary, you can maintain the summary for the line item, and time level summary also you can maintain. For now, a line item summary only I am maintaining. Okay, whenever the requirement comes, that time I will change my time summary. So far, line item summary I'm maintaining as the time summary also. So I'm maintaining sum so that we can sum up the selling price of the each unit. And this one also I'm taking the sum, and this one also I'm taking the sum, and this is also sum. Sorry, gross margin percentage should not be the sum. None you maintain, and gross margin should not be the sum. Okay, none is fine for me. Okay, this is fine. Now you need to understand what is applies to. This is one interesting feature in the module actually. Applies to whatever the dimensions or generalities we have selected in our module. Okay, this module will be applied to all the selected generalities. This one, if you go to this module again, here you see columns we have selected and rows we have selected, these three, and pages, line items, and data source we have selected, right? 5 plus 2, 7. 7 lists are here. And if you go to the module, what are here? These are the five we have, sorry, four lists we have selected. So our module will be applied to only these four lists. And there is one option here. You can see unit selling price. Unit selling price. It means these line items you can change the scope. It applies to in the sense scope of the module. You can change the scope of the unit selling price or unit cost price, whatever the line items we have specified here. For that, you can change the scope. It means you are creating one submodule. We call it as the submodule actually. Say, suppose if I go with some unit selling price. No, I do not disturb right now. Okay, I want to explain some other things also before creating the submodules here. So let us keep as is here. Okay, it means by default this all these applies to the rest of the line items also. So scope of this line items currently whatever we specified in the module level, the same scope applies to these line items also. And time scale here, you were maintaining the month. Of course, I need the month only now. And time range and versions, these are all. And if you want to maintain any style for your line item, the reporting level, okay, you can maintain the style for this line item level style, you can maintain in the module itself. So this is what the blueprint of your module. And you can see data here, right? Import, export. Here also you can see import and export. It means you can import the data into this module, just like general list we have discussed, right? The same way you can import your data into this module. If you have any flat file, if you maintain the flat file with the same combination, you can import the data into this module and you can display the data. Okay, so in the coming session, in the coming video, I will show you how to import the data because I need to prepare the flat file for this module. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.